Imagine a small, idyllic German town shattered by a sudden unexplained disappearance. Nestled in the heart of Germany, surrounded by emerald hills and the soothing sounds of nature, this place was always known for its tranquility. A tight-knit community, where everyone knew everyone, where life unfolded at a leisurely pace, far removed from the hustle and bustle of city life. But then, a chilling incident disturbed the peace. Anna, a bright and vivacious young girl, adored by the townfolks, vanished into thin air. She was last seen playing in the park, her laughter echoing through the air, her eyes sparkling with innocence. And then, just like that, she was gone. Her disappearance sent a wave of shock and fear rippling through the town. The jovial chatter that once filled the streets was replaced by hushed whispers and anxious glances. The local authorities swung into action, turning the town upside down in search of any clue, any lead that could shed light on Anna's whereabouts. The park, where she was last seen, became the epicenter of the investigation. But much to their dismay, they found nothing. No signs of struggle, no suspicious activities, nothing that could provide a hint of what might have happened to Anna. The townsfolk rallied together, reaching out to neighboring communities, plastering posters, holding candlelight vigils, all in a desperate attempt to find their beloved Anna. As the days rolled by, the atmosphere in the town grew palpably tense. The once cheerful park now stood eerily silent, its swings swaying gently, as if mourning the loss of their favorite occupant. Despite the tireless efforts of the community and the authorities, Anna remained missing. With each passing day, the hope of finding her started fading, replaced by a gnawing fear of the unknown. The once peaceful town was now haunted by a chilling question that echoed in every heart, every home, and every corner. As days turned into weeks, hope dwindled, yet the question remained: where was Anna? In the heart of this quaint town, a forest loomed, whispering tales of the supernatural. An ancient sentinel, its gnarled branches seemed to reach out, beckoning the curious and the brave, daring them to uncover its mysteries. This was no ordinary woodland, but a place steeped in lore and legend. A place where shadows danced and whispers echoed. Stories of the forest's otherworldly nature have been passed down through generations. There are tales of strange lights that flicker and vanish, of chilling echoes that defy explanation, and of spectral apparitions that appear at the stroke of midnight, only to fade away with the dawn. This forest is not just a sanctuary for flora and fauna, but also, some say, for the supernatural. The townsfolk, a hardy and pragmatic lot, have always treated these stories with a mix of skepticism and reverence. Yet, with the mysterious disappearance of Anna, a beloved member of their community, skepticism has slowly given way to fear. The forest, once a place of beauty and solace, has now become a symbol of dread and uncertainty. Anna's last known whereabouts were near the forest's edge, and her sudden vanishing has breathed new life into the old superstitions. The forest, once a backdrop to their daily lives, now looms larger in the town's consciousness. Its looming presence, once benign, now seems to hold a sinister edge. Whispers of the haunted forest have grown louder, the tales more frightening. The town is divided, with some clinging to rational explanations, others surrendering to the dark allure of the supernatural. But all agree on one thing: the forest, in its silent majesty, knows more than it lets on. As fear gripped the town, the forest stood silent, holding its secrets close. It bore silent witness to their fear, their whispers, their prayers. Unmoved and unchanging, it held the answers they sought, but would it ever reveal them? Only time would tell. One crisp morning, the forest broke its silence with a chilling revelation. In the dawning light, a group of children frolicked near the edge of the forest, their innocent laughter echoing through the trees. But their mirth was short-lived, for they stumbled upon a sight that would send shivers down their spines. There, nestled among the dew-kissed leaves, lay Anna's doll, its glassy eyes staring blankly into the morning sky. The doll, as familiar to the town as Anna herself, was an unwelcome reminder of the girl who had mysteriously disappeared. The children's discovery sparked a frenzy that swept through the town like a gust of wind. Families, friends, even strangers, all united by a common fear, began a massive search within the forest. They combed through every inch, every hidden corner, every shadowy nook of the woodland that had, until then, been a haven of tranquility. The forest, however, remained as enigmatic as ever, revealing no secrets, offering no clues, only deepening the mystery of Anna's disappearance. As the search continued, the forest seemed to grow more menacing, its silence more deafening. The once familiar trees now stood like silent sentinels, their gnarled branches reaching out as if in warning. The rustling leaves whispered tales of unseen horrors, and the darkness within seemed to grow deeper, more impenetrable. The town's fear escalated into terror. The forest was no longer a place of beauty and peace but a chilling labyrinth hiding a dreadful secret. The dread was palpable, hanging heavy in the air. The search for Anna had turned into a desperate quest against time and fear, and yet, the forest remained silent, its depths impenetrable, its secrets intact. The doll was the only sign of Anna, a haunting reminder of the girl who was lost. The town's hope began to wane, and despair set in, like a cold, relentless winter. The forest had spoken, but its message was as cryptic as ever. In the dead of night, a horrifying truth clawed its way out from the forest's shadows. Anna had returned. Her reappearance was as sudden and unexpected as her disappearance. She emerged from the forest's depths, her eyes gleaming with a strange, otherworldly light. Her clothes were tattered, her hair tangled and wild, but it was Anna. The townsfolk were relieved, yet something was profoundly off. Anna was different, changed. She spoke in riddles, her words laced with cryptic tales of her time with the forest people. She would stare off into the distance, her gaze focused on something only she could see, her voice barely above a whisper as she recounted her eerie encounters. Her tales were of shadowy figures that danced in the darkness, of haunting lullabies that echoed through the trees, of a world that existed just beyond our own. She spoke of the forest people as if they were old friends, as if she had known them her entire life. Her stories were filled with such vivid detail, such intense emotion, it was as if she had experienced another existence entirely. The town was filled with an unsettling dread. The once peaceful and serene forest now seemed to hold a terrifying secret. The trees, once symbols of life and growth, now cast long, monstrous shadows that seemed to hide unimaginable horrors. The wind, once a gentle whisper, now carried the haunting echoes of Anna's tales. Anna's return wasn't a cause for celebration, but a chilling reminder of the unknown, of the fearsome power of the forest. Her stories filled the townsfolk with unease, her strange behavior fueling their fear. The forest, once their refuge, was now a source of nightmares. As the days turned into weeks, the fear grew. Anna's tales became darker, more sinister. The forest people were no longer just figures in her stories, they were a haunting presence that loomed over the town. Anna was back, but the nightmare was far from over. What began as a tale of a lost child morphed into something far more sinister. As the days turned into weeks following Anna's return, the townsfolk noticed an eerie transformation. Our little Anna, once lost and found, was blossoming into something uncanny. She began to display talents and insights that defied comprehension. A mere child, she would sit at the piano and produce melodies of such haunting beauty that they would reduce grown men to tears. She spoke in languages she had never been taught, referencing historical events with an alarming precision. Her drawings too were no longer the innocent doodles of a child. Rather, they were intricate tapestries of symbols and figures, some drawn from ancient texts, others from the farthest reaches of the cosmos. Her understanding of the universe, it seemed, was expanding at an impossible rate. Fear began to creep into the hearts of the townsfolk. Whispers of witchcraft and possession filled the air. The once welcoming community started to shun Anna. Children were kept indoors, and the once lively town square was deserted. But the real terror was yet to come. Anna began to speak of impending doom. She predicted floods, fires, and famine. She warned of disease and death, and one by one, her prophecies came to pass. The once thriving town was brought to its knees, devastated by a series of calamities that seemed to have been lifted straight from the pages of Anna's foreboding sketches. The townsfolk were left in a state of shock and despair. They had believed they were rescuing a lost child. Instead, they had invited in a force that they could neither understand nor control. In the end, it wasn't Anna who had been lost in the forest. It was the town that had lost itself to fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of the other, fear of the future. And in their fear, they had created their own horror story.